Welcome to one of my Runeterra highlight videos. I highlight a different deck almost every single day of the week. If you enjoy the content, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. Enjoy. Let's dive right into our next deck here, huh? This deck, like many of the decks that we play, this was what I call a build-around submission. So a viewer donated to have me specifically build some type of new Starlit Seer deck. I think this card's very powerful, but the decks that it's existed in to date so far is have largely been kind of B-list decks. But every time Starlit Seer gets going in those B-list decks, it really feels powerful. So the two existing Starlit Seer shells, for people that aren't familiar, are there's a Teemo Starlit Seer deck that makes a lot of mushrooms, and there's the Twisted Fizz deck that we played last night and is up on our website that's also a Starlit Seer deck. So I felt like a potential third direction we could go in with this card is pairing it with gems. So this is a card that wants a lot of spells in our deck, so pairing it with units that make spells like Gift Giver and like Goat means that we can apply pressure and develop a board while still simultaneously having enough of that spell threshold to trigger Starlit Seer consistently. So the core of this deck is the kind of Diana Nightfall package. And then we also have some gems to pair with it inside of Targon. And then, in addition to Starlit Seer being a Freljord card that we're playing, we have a very small Freljord splash. Braum is another champion that's great when paired with gems, so I've got some of him in here. And then, because we are Targon and Freljord, I've got Divergent Paths here as a way to interact with my opponent's landmarks, as well as the ability to play a cheeky one of Howling Abyss to give us a late game card advantage engine that we can search up on occasion. This curve's great. I think I'm supposed to mulligan the Braum against Spooky Karma.
Rise! Her flowers bring the moonlight with them. Darkness hides in my path.
Darkness hides my path.
Forgive me.
Water changes, but never breaks.
Ask in her
Sure.
blessing.
Cleans out both of these. Although we might be blocking this. This kills Karma down the line too, though, so it seems like a fine pickup.
Must we fight?
What form?
Okay, they don't have the Vile Feast right away, so if they try and kill this with Go Hard or Vile Feast, I can save it with Guiding Touch. So I'm gonna play this out so that way I can have this to heal my elusive here.
In the flows of magic.
Yeah, feel free, Factor Fiction. Could all use a little bit more memes in our life right now. Try and kill these before Thresh happens. Deny. Rude. This means Vile Feast or Go Hard can kill the Shadestalker, but I think I'm okay with that.
Whatever the cost. No more lies. Face your heretic.
Killing this without them getting to draw a card's a big deal. We're pretty far ahead on board, and we have an okay amount of value left over in hand, so feeling like we're in an okay spot.
a
Good winter. You can feel free to just post an actual link, Factor Fiction. Links are enabled. They notably do not have Ruination mana up at the moment. It's a little worrisome.
The heart is the strongest muscle. I'll enjoy breaking yours.
I cannot turn back.
Am I willing to trade either of these for this? I think so. I think I just need to push damage. Honestly, it's probably worth... I think I'm just attacking with everything, actually. Because if they want to eat this here and trade here, they take hits from these then. Although I suppose if I attack with this, Thresh could block here, then that's not great for me. I'm only going to attack things that I can kill Thresh with if he blocks them.
It's obvious.
Blessed by snow and stars.
Pretty sure Take-Heart buffing's just better than another Braum here, so pretty happy with that. We have a concussive bomb, sure.
An auspicious
This thing's getting close to leveling up, which is scary. One away now. Diana doesn't gain Challenger when you Nightfall until she levels.
Moonlight guide me.
I mean, this saves Thresh, but it resets his level, right? So Thresh isn't leveling now, which is all I want out of life. It's a big boy, chat.
You insist on fighting when you could step aside.
You cannot tell the wind to change direction.
Sunlight guide you, my brethren.
Sure.
Embrace the night. Find your path in the dark and follow no false light.
I agree, support cards are a lot of fun.
No more lies.
We should be friends.
I don't think I want a gem here. I think I want to save this as a cheap Nightfall enabler down the line. Oh, she has Challenger as well.
Face your heretic.
Spring does not pity winter.
Okay.
It is easy, see?
It could be right to play the gem because it triggers this.
Return to us.
Alright, so we're gonna get to clear some stuff out of my board here, unfortunately. imagine they have a deal one here, so I should gem this, right?
Blessed by snow and stars.
Water changes but never breaks.
Is it crazy to overwrite Braum here? How do we feel about overwriting Braum? I think it's correct.
The full moon awakens the soul.
No, I think if we're not opening attacks against the Ruination deck, we're setting ourselves up to lose. I'm pretty sure the play to win line is set up and open attacks like this that's lethal unless they have some stuff.
Come from the dark. Nobody escapes.
Turrets, pull them down.
You lack subtlety.
The old Exaxes. Hooking a blocker does not do the same. Because this is 5 with Overwhelm, and their blockers only have 4 toughness at most. So it's more damage to play the Overwhelm unit because the Overwhelm unit has
The words of the heritage
more attack than they have life. If they had 5+ toughness things, we could be hooking out of the way. You'd be correct, though. Yeah, we should be getting some buffs in the next patch, too, I believe. I'm mulligan these, looking for a 2 in the middle. Perfect. Have your opponents considered stopping the count of damage to their Nexus while continuing to count damage against yours as a win condition? I'm not sure that they have. Seems like a big brain play, though. Shyvana buff sounds exciting, because, like, that card, like, I think that card's close to playable as is. So, like, any small adjustment there probably puts her over the top. The Shadow Isles Feel the Rush deck. Shadow Isles Failure Feel the Rush deck has taken over as the most popular deck in the format at the moment. I'm just gonna burn their mana here. I'm fine banking spell mana and them doing nothing that turn sounds great. I would kind of like to play Solari Priestess and invoke that turn, but burning their mana sounds great.
Their scent travels on the night air.
I'm gonna play this out because it doesn't die to Avalanche. And then if they want to pass again, I'm okay passing. They just vengeanced my 3-drop. Deal. And now I have good open attacks again. This game's been a really great example of the priority system in Runeterra. And how if you understand how to leverage it, you can really gain an advantage. Please, look at these goats producing healing for themselves. You love to see it, chat. I think they had this Avalanche most of this game, and were trying to get more value out of it.
Daylight warms the heart and lights the way.
The journey is different. These will protect you.
Embrace the night.
Alright, so we technically have them dead to open attacks here, right?
Sapphire.
They notably have Ruination and Icequake mana, so definitely just gem smash you. Good chance they heal in some way, but definitely want to open attacks to play around the sweeper to the best of our ability.
These jewels are more than mere trinkets. Night flowers upon my blade.
The promise of a new moon upon you, Bloom Tender.
Part of me wants to cantrip these proactively. Another part of me wants to wait to try and catch them. There's that Ruination we were playing around. I feel like this game's been a really good example of the amount of play you have against control decks with aggro decks in Runeterra. Been a lot of really good back and forth here so far.
My light shines.
I think I'm into Written in the Stars here.
The trolls are going to war!
This like draws a Diana and plays her and triggers the Nightfall for her, which is great. Yeah, I agree, Quaddle. That's a good summary. That was one of the best draws in our deck, probably.
These old eyes still see far and clear.
Czar, piece of card advantage here to grind into the late game.
Fight!
Why didn't I play Ice Pillar, chat? Because I was so excited I drew that? That's definitely why. I was definitely so excited I drew this that I didn't play Ice Pillar. Awkward.
Question all that you are told. The moon is our queen. The night, her kingdom.
I tactically didn't play the Ice Pillar because I didn't want them to eat it with Tryndamere. Duh, chat. Oh, a pirate's life is a life for me. And if they Ruinate here, I literally get to play Trundle Gangplank. Okay, they can no longer Ruinate, right? So I should just play Gangplank out?
Neither the flames nor the depths can claim me.
Overrate the Abyss? Yeah, that was probably right. I love my Abyss. I love my Abyss. Don't take my Abyss away from me. It would make me very sad. That's a good one to end on.
This'll do for now.
This'll do for now. I don't know. This deck felt kind of reasonable. Believe it or not, our deck felt like it got better when we added Trundle to it, as opposed to playing Braum. Your deck gets better when you put more good cards in it. I do think one thing I would probably change is Guiding Touch kept getting gummed up in our hands a lot. And I'm not sure that I would cut all of them, but probably so. Maybe I would cut all of them. Maybe a change I would make at the end here is not playing Bastion, I think, felt pretty awkward, and I kind of felt myself wanting another Hush at various points in that set. I think you could also have a discussion about whether or not you want 2 Hushes versus like 1 Hush and a Frostbite, but Hush is a little bit more flexibility than Frostbite in a lot of situations, I think. And then I think a couple of Bastions to like protect my threats and pump them up on occasion seems reasonable. It's similar to Guiding Touch, but a little bit more flexible, can keep our things alive against Ruination. This card would definitely make our matchup a little bit better against the control deck that's very popular right now. At any rate, thanks everybody for dropping in today.